Tell all you love that you love them so, because even if you do, they might not know, and one day we'll all be gone. Taste the wind, don't let it blow on by. Sing songs of love, let the music get you high, and when it's said and done, you'll know the sun will shine on. And when it's said and done.
Watch this powerful documentary, Vietnam, American Holocaust, narrated by Martin Sheen, on YouTube or on DVD, available to borrow free through interlibrary loan. Most people in the United States have never seen these actual scenes of Presidents Johnson and Nixon and their gangs talking about their mass murders in Vietnam. Johnson and Nixon talked about killing people in Vietnam as if they were killing cockroaches or rats. The U.S. murdered 3 to 5 million people, kids, mothers, fathers, in Vietnam. No street gang leader has ever had less concern for human lives than Democrat President Lyndon Johnson and Republican President Richard Nixon and their gangs. No Mexican drug cartel boss has ever had less concern for human lives than Johnson and Nixon. No mafia boss, no white Ku Klux Klan member, no lynch mob has ever had less concern for human lives than President Johnson and President Nixon and their gangs of killers. No serial killer on death row has ever had less concern for human lives than Presidents Johnson and Nixon and their accomplices in the U.S. mass murder of 3 to 5 million moms, dads, kids, grandparents. Johnson, Nixon, Putin, Hitler were not born evil, no. But from birth on, they were strongly influenced to become greedy for power, for money, and to turn off their consciences. Besides the horrific evil words of these U.S. government leaders, this video, Vietnam, American Holocaust, includes scenes of U.S. soldiers burning homes, massacring peasant families, the spraying of 4 million gallons of Agent Orange, the deadly chemical made by Uniroyal, Dow, and Monsanto, U.S. companies. Agent Orange sickened and killed many people in Vietnam and some U.S. soldiers. Agent Orange has caused many children in Vietnam then, now, and into the future to be born severely deformed. If you want to know the bloody, evil truth about the Vietnam War, watch this documentary, Vietnam, American Holocaust. I refuse to be a soldier, to murder and possibly die in Vietnam. I'm no longer a believer in God, but I thank the Mennonite Church, Mennonite denomination, for waking me up to the evil of war. I did 2 years of non-military community service as a person opposed to war. The first year in Arizona working with youth, and the second year here in Albuquerque working in the community and with youth. And later, after finishing those 2 years of non-military community service as a person opposed to all war, I realized that for me, as a person opposed to war, for me to pay federal income tax, to train and equip young people to become professional hired killers, to murder on command with no conscience, would be more evil than being a soldier myself. For 45 years, I have paid no federal income tax for U.S. wars, not one damn bloody penny. About 1/3 to 1/2 of every federal income tax dollar goes for war. I enjoy living simply below the U.S. federal income taxable level and below the U.S. poverty level for me as a single person. The United States suffered the mass murder of almost 3,000 people on September 11, 2001 in New York and Washington, D.C. But many years before 9/11, 2001, the United States mass murdered 3 to 5 million people in Vietnam, and that's at least 1,000 times as many people in Vietnam as were murdered on 9/11 in Washington, D.C. and New York. Have you ever heard any U.S. politician, any religious leader, say that the United States mass murdered at least 1,000 times as many people in Vietnam as were mass murdered in New York City and Washington, D.C. on 9/11? At least 1,000 times as many people the U.S. murdered in Vietnam as were murdered on 9/11. Has there ever been a government more hypocritical, more vicious than the U.S. government? As Martin Luther King, the great prophet, said, "The greatest purveyor of violence in the world today is my own government." And sadly, that's still true over 56 years after he said that. My only Albuquerque friend who visited me on my family farm in Illinois was my dear friend Daniel from Martineztown in 1984. Daniel was 23. Daniel spent weeks with my dad and me. My mother had already died. Daniel drove trucks in my dad's business. I was strongly attracted to Daniel, and I told him. But he and I never had sex. 26 years later, May 31st, 2011, Daniel visited me here in Albuquerque. He told me he wanted sex with me, but not a relationship. Daniel said if I told anyone, he would kill me and maybe kill himself. I did not have sex with Daniel. I hope I explained clearly that day, clearly to him that I want to celebrate sex with a friend, not hide it as a poisoned secret to keep him from killing me and himself. Daniel and I then, in my home that day, talked about his memories of being in Illinois with me on the farm, experiences 26 years earlier. And as Daniel left my home that day, May 31st, 2011, he told me, "I love you." Maybe the only time since I had met him 39 years before. 2 days later, Daniel was dead from a violent street attack, Broadway and Cole. I was devastated. I deeply loved Daniel. I first had sex with any male in 1976 when I was 31. And since then, 46 years ago, I had sex with many dozens of men. I have been strongly sexually attracted also to many other men that I have not had sex with. Some of those men sensed I was attracted to them. Some of those men I told I was sexually attracted to them. I think some of those many men I have been attracted to these past 46 years since I first had sex with any male, I think some of those men had some attraction to me. But because of religion, family, friends, fear, shame, and guilt kept them chained and caged, some of them until the day they die. So sad to me to think of those many men missed giving and receiving affectionate, passionate sex with. But I treasure memories of men I deeply loved. Until any man who enjoys sex and romance with men can tell his family, his buddies, with no fear, no shame, no guilt, and until any woman on earth who enjoys sex and romance with women can tell her family, her friends, with no fear, no shame, no guilt, our struggle for romantic freedom must continue. Why watch and cheer boxing and football, men bruising and brain injuring men? Why praise men killing men, women, and kids in war? Why shame men enjoying affectionate, passionate sex with men? Why shame men in love and making love with men? If you have a truck built to haul 5 tons, and if you constantly haul 10 or 15 tons, what will happen? And if you weigh twice or more your ideal healthy body weight for many years, you probably will suffer horribly eventually. We can wake up. We can change. We do not have to get fat as we get older. I weigh less now than I did in high school in the early 1960s. 60 years ago. I weigh less now than I did then. Undocumented immigrants are less likely than U.S. citizens and legal immigrants to commit crimes. Think of that. People born in the United States are much more likely to be arrested for violent crimes, for drug crimes, for property crimes, than undocumented immigrants. How many politicians will tell you that? The U.S. Public Health Service in 1932 did a secret study on almost 400 black men, most of them poor, most of them undereducated farmers. The U.S. Public Health Service recruited these black men to watch them suffer for 40 years from syphilis, the sexually transmitted disease. Syphilis can cause paralysis, blindness, deafness, dementia, heart trouble, brain damage, and death. This evil study by the U.S. Public Health Service was called the Tuskegee Experiment. This is one reason why many black people do not trust white doctors. And other reasons many black people do not trust white doctors. Many white doctors enslaved black women. They used experiments on their vaginas, these white doctors. And while grave robbers stole black bodies to use in medical schools, white doctors sterilized black women so they could not have children. Some white doctors think black people feel less pain than white people. Strong reasons why many black people do not trust white doctors. Cow's milk, cheese, and ice cream can cause or worsen heart disease, cancer, arthritis, migraine headaches, allergies, ear infections. Cow's milk, cheese, ice cream can cause hay fever, asthma, respiratory illness, and many other problems. Cow's milk is different from human milk. Cow's milk has much more casein, which can make cancer at all stages to grow faster. Now, cow's milk does not necessarily cause cancer, but many people have cancer dormant in their body for many years. And eating cheese, ice cream from cow's milk, drinking cow's milk can make cancer at all stages to grow faster. I drink no cow's milk. I eat no cheese, no ice cream. I was, many years ago, I was addicted to cheese and to ice cream. But I woke up, I changed. If Putin continues his evil war against Ukraine, millions of people worldwide may hate and fear the Russian government as much as they hate and fear the U.S. government for massacring many thousands in Gaza and for killing millions in U.S. wars for decades. A woman wrote, "I was a faithful wife for 26 years. My husband made love the way he did everything else, mechanically, without attempting to invest himself in the process and expending as little energy as possible to get the job done. This is also the way he played the role of son, husband, father, employee. And after he and I parted," says this woman, "I met someone else. He approached making love the way he approached life, with joy, enthusiasm. He was caring, generous, inventive. Over and above his own physical pleasure, he wanted to give me the greatest pleasure possible." This woman says, "If I had not met that man, I would have died without knowing what good sex was." A woman in Virginia. Black Elk Native American Lakota elder said, "My people are dying of guns. When the white man came here, we had no guns. He brought the guns to us. He taught us to kill with guns. He teaches our young men in the army to kill with his guns. And yet the white man says, 'Let there be peace on earth.' Every Christmas he says that. Let there be peace on earth. While he goes everywhere on earth and he kills people. On Sunday, the white man goes to church and he prays, and on Monday he goes to work and he makes bullets with the same hands he prayed with on Sunday." And Black Elk, the Native American Lakota elder, goes on and says, "If the white man wants peace on earth, let him stop making his bullets. Let him stop making shotguns. Let him stop making M1 carbines and worse guns. Then maybe we may have peace." In the old days, a good Indian did not say anything about these things. He would be silent. He was a so-called good Indian because he did not go where he wasn't wanted. He did not say anything the white man did not want to hear. And Black Elk says, "I will not be silent. I will not be silent. My people are dying. My Lakota people are dying. My Oglala people are dying. And I will not be silent anymore." So I tell the white man, he is wrong. He's going in the wrong direction. He will be dying too if he does not become human. I heard of a man who came out as gay at age 100. Better late than never. And sadly, this man spent many years hiding his romantic feelings, pretending, living a lie, probably because of shame and fear of rejection by those who knew him. If you're serious about being healthy and eating only healthy food, get rid of all the junk food in the house. Get rid of anything containing added sugar, artificial sweeteners, white flour, processed vegetable oil. If it's not there in your house or in your refrigerator, you can't eat it. So get rid of it if you really are serious about living healthy. Why tempt yourself to eat the crap, the unhealthy shit. I buy nothing at McDonald's, no fast food anywhere. If we eat the crap most people eat, why should we be surprised if we get the diseases most people suffer? UNM Hospital, Presbyterian Hospital get bigger and bigger. Most hospital beds would be empty, and medical costs would plunge if we all got serious about living healthy, eating healthy, exercising, get enough sleep, sunshine, close friends every day. I buy nothing at Walmart, nothing from Amazon. Why make those filthy rich companies richer? I shop at growers' markets, thrift stores, the flea market, yard sales, natural food stores, and often at El Super, at Altrisco and Central. Do you trust the money-crazy factories and fast food joints? Some remains in the milk and the eggs of the antibiotics that are fed to animals. Many farmers feed antibiotics to their cows, to their pigs, to their chickens, to make them grow big faster, to make quicker money. And some people take antibiotic drugs. And these antibiotics, whether you take them directly or from the meat and the dairy of the animals that were fed the antibiotics, these antibiotics are one cause of people getting fat. I eat no meat, no dairy, and most of the time I take no antibiotic drugs. One exception may have been when I suffered the hit and run May 16th, 2023, and I was in the hospital. Many jobs harm more than help. Selling cigarettes, bartending booze, torturing laboratory animals to test products. Many jobs harm more than help. Toxic chemical factory farming, selling luxury clothes made in sweatshops. Many jobs harm more than help. Working in a gambling casino, making movies glamorizing greed and bloody violence, serving crap at McDonald's, delivering Pepsi. Many jobs harm more than help. Making ads for stuff nobody needs. Being a soldier trained to murder people. Designing mass murder weapons at Sandia and Los Alamos weapons laboratories. Shutting up our conscience for a paycheck. Jobs where you get fired for publicly damning U.S. wars and atrocities. Many jobs harm more than help. And many years ago, I worked in our family cattle and hog business in Illinois. Sadly, I, Don Schrader, participated in much cruelty to those animals. One of many things I would like to change if I had my life to live over. And to all of you who are working a harmful job because of needing money to pay your bills, decide now to live simply and as soon as possible to find a life-giving job even if you're paid much less money. Many jobs are not worth doing, no matter how much money we're paid. One of my most painful, hazy early childhood memories makes me especially aware of how violent I or anyone can be. I was about 5 years old. I was in a temper tantrum. I went to the pantry of our Illinois farm home. I got the large butcher knife to frighten, threaten, or harm my mother. I'm glad my mother did not curse me. I'm glad my mother did not spank me. I'm glad my mother did not beat me afterward. But I wish she had taken my rage more seriously. I wish she had held me firmly in her arms, assuring me of her love for me and her understanding my anger, while at the same time controlling my violent impulse, holding me tight until my rage passed, whether for 15 minutes or 3 hours, not hitting me and not allowing me to injure her. And maybe she did some of this. I don't remember clearly. One of our worst fears is not being able to control our violent impulses, especially toward our closest loved ones. This memory has haunted me, this memory has hounded me, this memory has humbled me down through the years. None of us is immune to killing someone, even a long-time loved one, in a moment of insane rage. If anyone could have told Judge Gerald Cole, a white man, here in his Albuquerque courtroom, if anyone could have told him years ago in his courtroom that he would kill his wife and himself in 2005, how could he have believed it? We're all capable of terrifying violence, and because I know that about myself, because I aim to live nonviolently toward all people, I refuse to own a gun. I refuse to drink booze. I condemn, glamorize murder, rape, jealousy, revenge, addiction to money, rape, unnecessary possessions, and war in many movies, in many books, many songs, many TV programs. I condemn violent video games. Why poison our minds? I refuse to make it easier for me to commit the violence I abhor. Some reasons many teenage girls get pregnant. Some girls know little or nothing about sex and about birth control. Some girls and their boyfriends have sex when they are boozing and do not think much about getting pregnant. Some girls are rebelling against their parents' authority and want to punish their parents for being strict with them. Some girls want to have their boyfriend's baby to please him or to hang on to him, which often does not work, because some boyfriends run the other way as fast as they can when they find out their girlfriend is pregnant. Some girls' boyfriends want to be fathers to prove they're men, especially if they are closeted gay or bisexual. If parents have divorced or a parent has died, the girl may feel having a baby will fill her heart's empty hole. Some girls think having a baby will show they can produce something and have someone to love, and someone who will love them in return. If a person rich in money and a person poor in money fall in love, often come problems because of a big difference in money. The person rich in money can wonder, would this other person want me if I did not have all this money and stuff? The person poor in money can wonder, would I be so attracted to this other person if he or she were not rich in money? Am I a leech? Am I a gold digger? Is this person rich in money trying to buy my love and make sure I will not leave? I enjoy living simply below the U.S. poverty level. If I'm in love with men who have much more money and stuff than I do, they need never worry or wonder if I'm after their money. Hell no. If you go to medical doctors and if you're ever diagnosed with cancer or any other life-threatening disease, ask your medical doctor these 3 questions. Number 1, approximately how long do you think I have to live if I follow all of your advice? Number 2, approximately how long do you think I have to live if I do nothing at all? 3, what are all the side effects if I follow your advice? And insist that your medical doctor write down for you the answers to all 3 questions. Approximately how long do you think I have to live if I follow all your advice? Approximately how long do you think I have to live if I do nothing at all? And what are all the side effects if I follow your advice? And insist that he or she sign it and date it and give it to you. Written answers to those 3 questions. And if your doctor refuses to do so, immediately stop going to that doctor. Find another doctor. Take charge of your life and your health. Carrots can help cancer, digestion, losing fat. Carrots can help both constipation and diarrhea, insomnia, high blood pressure. Carrots can dissolve kidney stones. Carrots help hair, nails, eyesight. Carrots can help adrenal glands, stomach ulcers, infections. Carrots can help the liver and acne and arthritis. Carrots can help give us more energy. They can help cataracts and asthma. Eat several raw carrots every day. Chew them if you have good teeth, or, like me, if you have bad teeth or no teeth, as I am, blend them in smoothies. Do not juice carrots. Why? We need the fiber of the whole raw carrots. the whole raw carrots. I strongly support a woman's right to breastfeed her baby in public. If the mother is healthy, breastfeeding is much healthier for the baby than formula. Breastfeeding is much cheaper than formula. Breastfed babies have fewer allergies, fewer ear infections. Breastfed babies have less diabetes, less cancer, less asthma years later in life. Mothers eat no meat, eat no dairy, no junk food, drink no booze, no sodas, smoke no cigarettes. Give your babies healthy breast milk. 95% of the pesticides U.S. people eat are from the meat and the dairy they eat. 95% of the pesticides, if those animals were fed crops sprayed with pesticides. Breastfeeding is clean, breastfeeding is natural, breastfeeding is safe and convenient, and I strongly support a woman's right to breastfeed her baby in public. Why spend hundreds of dollars on mattresses and springs to sleep on? A huge ripoff. My bed has had no mattress, no springs for many years. My bed is 2-inch thick wood boards. On top of the wood boards, I have folded sleeping bags and blankets to sleep on. Firm, very comfortable. I would not trade my bed for the most expensive mattress and springs. And many people suffer back pain, partly because their beds are not firm, often lumpy. Most stuff advertised is a ripoff to grab our money. And many times we can find other ways to do something even better, or at least as good, as the expensive stuff advertised. Why be conned to buy expensive crap we do not need, and then complain about the bills? This poem by Alice E. Chase, entitled To My Growin' Up Son. My hands were busy through the day. I did not have much time to play the little games you asked me to. I did not have much time for you. I would wash your clothes, I would sew and cook. But when you bring your picture book and ask me, please, to share your fun, I'd say, a little later, son. I'd tuck you in all safe at night and hear your prayers, turn out the light, and then tiptoe softly to the door. I wish I had stayed a minute more. For life is short and years rush past. A little boy grows up so fast. No longer is he at your side, his precious secrets to confide. The picture books are put away. There are no children's games to play, no goodnight kiss, no prayers to hear. That all belongs to yesteryear. My hands once busy now lie still. The days are long and hard to fill. I wish I might go back and do the little things you asked me to. This beautiful, touching poem, To My Growing Up Son, by Alice E. Chase. I drink no booze, Booze has devastated the lives of many of my dear friends. Booze causes car crashes, paralyzing, killing thousands. Booze causes awful family fights, ruined romances, horrible holiday memories. And I do not want to make it easier for me to say or do things I later will terribly regret. Men wake up in jail not remembering stabbing or shooting their wife or buddy while drunk the night before. Booze causes pot bellies, early aging, wasted paychecks, destroyed livers, dead brain cells. Booze lowers the sex hormone testosterone and causes erection problems, difficulty getting the cock hard. And if the most good-looking man in town has to drink booze to drown his shame, his guilt, to make love with me, my answer is no thanks. And many smart, hardworking people start out as social drinkers and end up sick, lonely, alcoholics, dying young. I urge community leaders, stop celebrating new breweries in Albuquerque. Set a public example. Live sober. Boycott all booze. Musicians, stop singing words in English and Spanish, glamorizing booze, tequila. Stop it. I enjoy deep conversations, hugging men and women, friends, dancing up a storm, and I drink no booze. Why waste your money and your health on liquid poison? And I urge all politicians, all athletes, all community leaders, all musicians to pledge publicly to drink no booze the rest of their lives. And of course, that's not going to stop everybody from drinking booze, but it will make some people think. Some people wake up and stop the damn booze. In 1976, my grandparents were shot and killed by a severely abused, disturbed 18-year-old white man. And afterwards, some of us, family, went to the funeral home to pick out their coffins. An older man who worked for the funeral home and knew my grandparents said, "Here is one with an inner spring mattress." And maybe he had no idea how insane, how wrong what he said was. Why should any person on earth have an inner spring mattress in their coffin for their decaying dead body when millions of living children lie homeless on the ground, sick, cold, hungry? We each can be rich in some ways and so poor in other ways. My dear mother had a car, a house to live in, food to eat, money and lots of stuff. So she was rich in some ways compared with many millions worldwide. Millions of hungry people with no home. But my dear mother was desperately poor in health. Her sick body for many years not being able to walk well, to do physical work. She was desperately poor in wanting and needing passionate sex and romance with someone. My mother starved for many years, as millions do, to be in love and to make love. If you see me walking on the street or at the flea market or any place, I welcome you to stop and talk with me. I treasure heart-to-heart conversations. I love personal questions about my life. We all will die. I will die. But I do my damnedest every day to live healthy until that day comes. Why take better care of your car, better care of your house? Why take better care of your garden and your yard? Why take better care of your pets than your body? Why spend months or years suffering before you die? And if all people would get serious about living healthy every day, most hospital beds would be empty. Most people live inside buildings or vehicles most of the time. And when they are outside, their bodies are mostly covered with cloth. They're starved for sunshine, for vitamin D. And the darker your skin, the more time you need in the sunshine to get enough vitamin D. If you eat only healthy food, sunshine has many health benefits, including improving your immunity to colds, to flu, to COVID-19, and to all infectious diseases. If you're just starting to expose your skin to the great healer, sunshine, never burn. Start with a few minutes and gradually increase. Both men and women need enough of the sex hormone testosterone. Men need more testosterone than women. We need normal levels of testosterone for better muscle tone, normal levels of testosterone for more energy, better skin, better mood, more strength, stronger sex drive. We need normal levels of testosterone to prevent heart disease, to prevent prostate problems, for stronger bones, for less stress, for better memory, to be friendlier and less irritable. We need normal levels of testosterone for better sleep and for more desire and drive in all of life. Normal levels, not above normal levels, and never take steroids. Cigarettes lower testosterone. Booze lowers testosterone. Belly fat lowers testosterone. Soy can lower testosterone. Sunshine on our sex organs, vaginas, cocks, balls can increase testosterone. And yes, I sunbathe many winter days if there are no clouds and no wind. I have a small protected spot in our backyard where it's beautiful, almost too hot, sunbathing for an hour or two on many winter days. Two of the best exercises for making our asses more firm, more attractive are squats and climbing stairs. And back on our farm in Illinois, our house had 2 floors, downstairs, upstairs. And through the years as a kid and an adult, I went up and down those stairs thousands of times. Besides getting enough sleep every night, take short naps during the day if possible. Even 5, 10, or 15 minutes help if we feel tired. We can learn from dogs, from lions, many other animals to take breaks, to stretch out instead of constantly moving many hours at a time. Many millions, even billions more people in the future addicted to more cars, bigger houses, more travel, more high-tech crap no one needs, causing more air pollution, more climate crisis. Where does it end? If you can leave 50,000 or 50 million to your children and to your grandchildren, what good is that money if they do not have a much worse, if they have, correction, if they have a much worse environment to live in than we have now? What good is all that money? And when would you say you have enough money and stuff? A 5-room house, a 10-room house, a 20-room house, 2 or 3 fancy cars, ocean cruises? When, if ever, will you have enough? Not addicted to buying more stuff no one needs. Do I deserve to have much more stuff than hard-working, dirt-poor people in Haiti, in India, in the Philippines? Hell no. If you have not made huge changes in how you live because of the climate crisis, how bad will the climate crisis have to get before you would make huge changes? And instead of buying expensive crap to keep up with your neighbors and friends, why not become an example to your neighbors and friends of enjoying living simply? And I would be ashamed as hell to live in a mansion, to own a luxury car, to fly or drive thousands of miles for vacation. And do we give a damn about living fairly now in our world family of 8 billion? Do we give a damn about those who come after us? I enjoy having enough. My 9.5 by 12 foot room, 144 square feet, with 6 windows in the house of a friend. Now, I would hate it if my room had no windows or only one window, but I love my 6 windows for lots of sunshine and natural light. I have a garden for food and flowers, small private spots to sunbathe. I have healthy food to eat, warm clothes for cold weather, friends to phone, to write to visit. I appreciate having enough. Why would I want much more money and stuff? Most of the stuff in malls, most of the stuff advertised, I do not want, and I would not keep if given to me free. I strongly thank Mark, Eddie, and Travis for their excellent help dozens and dozens of times running the cameras and controls for this program. And thanks to all of you watching. I love personal questions. I treasure heart-to-heart conversations. My fresh piss to your health, to my health. Thank you.
Live every day as if it were the last, because before you know it, time goes past and life's just not that long. Tell all you love that you love them so, because even if you do, they might not know, and one day we'll all be gone. Taste the wind, don't let it blow on by. Sing songs of love, let the